Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm coming to you from my kitchen. A lot of my friends and family up north has been asking me about how to cook an easy but good gumbo. So Tina's is my favorite. It's her recipe. This is for people that's never done one, or for, like, you know, bachelors or beginners. It's not the traditional way to cook gumbo. You got to stand over that for several hours. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but this is the easiest way to make a really good gumbo. So let's go check it out. All right, guys, first let's check out all the ingredients. All right, first we're going to use an onion. And since it's Super Bowl weekend, we're making a pretty big gumbo. So we're using two different chickens. We're using white and dark meat. So we're using the skinless, boneless breasts, because like I said, we're making this as easy as possible. We're going to go with white meat, and we're going to go with thighs for dark meat. We're going to use a pack of green onions. And this is our local meat market. It's called Rabidou sausage, but it doesn't really matter where you get the sausage from. But I strongly recommend doing smoked pork. Now the roux, we're going to use out of a jar, and that's what makes this easy and quicker. This is Savoy's. This is our favorite. You can get this on Amazon. Not too expensive and really good. We're going to use black pepper. Of course, some Tony Chachere's. You can also get that on Amazon. Of course, I hear they sell that up north now. And a little salt. We're going to use a large gumbo pot. And then, of course, you need your rice. First, we're going to cut up the onion. All right, then we're going to cut up our sausage. Just want to cut them into little rounds, bite-sized pieces. All right, after you get your sausage and onions cut up, you're going to cut up your chicken breast. Now remember, you can use bone-in chicken. We prefer boneless just because it's a lot easier. But that, again, this is to make the easiest gumbo, so the easiest good gumbo. So, and also we're using dark meat and white meat. You don't have to do that either. You can use either or you can use both. But this is for chicken and sausage gumbo, the easiest way. We're using both this time because it's Super Bowl Sunday. All right, then we're going to use our, we call them gumbo pots down here. It's just a Rachel Ray pot, just a large pot. We're going to add some water. All right, guys, in Louisiana, when it comes to seasoning and how much stuff to put, we usually just, it's passed down through generations, and just by watching, you get used to it. We did measure it out for you. It's a little less than half a pot, but we measured it out. It's 20 cups in this particular gumbo. All right, guys, we're going to turn the fire up pretty high and bring that water to a boil. All right, while that's coming to a boil, we're going to go ahead and season all the chicken individually. And like I said, guys, here in Louisiana, our ancestors kind of whispered to us from the heavens to tell us when to stop putting seasoning. It's up to you on how much you want to put and what kind of seasoning you want to put. We're using, for this particular one, we're using black pepper and Tony's, just making it as simple as possible again. And we're just going to add until we like the color of it. All right, first with Tony's, just gonna cover it with an even coat across the top and then stir it all in. We're gonna add, we decided to add a little cayenne for a little kick this time too, so a little cayenne pepper. A little bit of this goes a long way, so be careful with the cayenne. We're gonna add some black pepper. A nice good even coat around everything, and a little bit of just table salt. All right, we're just going to stir that all around and mix it all together on all the chicken. Okay guys, we're going to use about 4 stalks of the green onions and cut them up. Now, when it comes to the green onions, you could use a lot more if you choose to. I'm not a huge fan, so against Tina's recipe, I use a lot less than most people would. All right, after we bring it to a boil, we're going to add the roux. Again, it's Savoy's, and we're going to do massive, you can do heaping teaspoons, tablespoons, and we're going to do, with the pot this size, I mean, again, it comes down to preference on how dark or light you like your gumbo. It's going to take a few times before you find your taste, the one that you like. In this particular one, for the amount of water we're using, the 20 cups, we're going to do 5 big teaspoons. All right, at this point, you're going to want to stay over the top of it. After you add the roux to it, it really, really wants to rise and boil over, and it will easily until you add the meat. So just stay over it and stir it, pretty regularly. While you're stirring in your roux, you can leave it up on a high boil. We didn't turn it down any at all. We're just going to stay on it, make sure it doesn't rise up and over. Don't walk away from it at this point because it will rise up. Now what we're trying to do here is cook those big spoonfuls of roux down into liquid. If you can still see them, keep going. The roux still got a minute or 2 left, but it's all right to go ahead and add your onions. Let them start cooking. As you start adding things to it, it'll settle it down and it'll stop rising. Again, we're still on high. Adding the onions alone, though, will calm it down a lot. All right, guys, we're real happy with the way this is looking. It's been 10 total minutes. We added the onions about 5 minutes through. And, yeah, we're ready to add all of our meats. So first we're going to add the sausage. And then we're going to add our chicken. I'm telling you guys, this is the easiest way to make chicken and sausage gumbo. It's so easy and it's really good. All right, as you can see, the meat really calms it down. So we're still going to leave it at the same high temperature. And we're just going to let it cook until it starts boiling again. All right, we pre-seasoned the meat, the chicken, only though. And in Louisiana, we like a little kick, we like a little spice. So we're going to add some more to the entire gumbo itself to where the roux and the water and the sausage and everything will have a little seasoning on it, not just the chicken. That's why we choose to re-season. If you guys do not want to add any more, that's fine. We like a little kick, so we're going to add just some black pepper and some Tony's. And again, it's up to you on how much you want, how much you like. We're not doing measurements here. We're just making it simple. It's going to take a couple times, cooking it to where you'll know if it's too spicy or if it's not spicy enough. You can add a little more, a little less next time. And you just stir that all around in there. Oh, it's looking good. All right, guys, now that it's at a high boil, again, super simple. We're going to leave it at the same temperature, and we're going to cook it for 45 minutes. About 15 minutes before that is done, though, we're going to still come back and add the green onions. All right, y'all, we got about 20 minutes left on the gumbo, so we're gonna go ahead and throw our rice on. At this particular gumbo, again, we're doing a pretty big one. We're gonna do 3 cups. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes left, so we're gonna go ahead and add the green onions. Again, we've just been letting this cook the whole time. Still the same temperature, up high. It won't rise anymore after you get all the meat in it. All right, guys. Now we're just going to shut it off. And it's ready to go. Pick up a spoonful. All right, guys, that is the easy way to make a quick, really, really good gumbo. And again, to make homemade roux, you know, it takes a long time to make a real gumbo. Not that this isn't a real gumbo, it's a good gumbo. But I want to reemphasize that this is for bachelors, bachelorettes, beginners, northerners, you know, folks that are just getting into gumbo. This is a super simple way to make chicken and sausage gumbo. It's really, really good. Just grab you a little bit of Tabasco or Louisiana hot sauce, or whatever your favorite hot sauce is, and some crackers, and you're good to go. Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate it. And as always, thank you guys for hanging out.